some good news for you. At least it's heading in that direction. I can't predict the final outcome. But I've been following this situation with Jeffrey Epstein and JPMorgan. And I told you before that JPMorgan, it was outed that basically JPMorgan was sending money to the Virgin Islands, which supported the activities, trying to be careful what I say, the activities that Jeffrey Epstein was committing on that island, right? So all this information came out recently that the Virgin Islands, they are now suing JPMorgan. And I told you I was going to follow this story because I think these people need to be held accountable. It has now been released that not only did JPMorgan, were they involved by financially funding these activities, but it had also come forward that Jamie Dimon of JPMorgan, that they knew that the money was going to that case, that the money was going to those activities, and that they turned a blind eye. And now Jamie Dimon, along with a couple other billionaires, are being subpoenaed. Listen to this. Interesting. This came out. Google founder, former Disney executive to get subpoenas in JPMorgan Epstein lawsuit. This came out Friday, 5:14 p.m. I can't even joke about this. Key points. Google founder Sergey Brin, former Disney executive Michael Ovitz, and two other billionaires are set to be served with subpoenas in a lawsuit against JPMorgan Chase by the government of the U.S. Virgin Islands related to sex trafficking by Jeffrey Epstein. So there was another gentleman that was on the thumbnail next to Epstein. There was Epstein, and then there was the co-founder of Google, which is Sergey Brin, and then there was Jamie Dimon. That's who those two gentlemen were on the thumbnail. In addition to Brin and Ovitz, subpoenas are being sent to Hyatt Hotels, Executive Chairman Thomas Pritzker, and real estate investor Mort Zuckerman. And this has been confirmed by CNBC. Let me make sure I got the, oh, I'm missing the video for that one. 1 second, guys. I'll go back and grab the video. I'll finish the article and then I'll go to the video. So here we go. Google founder Sergey Brin, former Disney executive Michael Ovitz of Hyatt Hotels, executive chairman Thomas Pritzker, and fourth billionaire real estate investor Mort Zuckerman will be subpoenaed in a lawsuit against JPMorgan Chase by the government of the U.S. Virgin Islands related to trafficking by Jeffrey Epstein. The subpoenas were first reported Friday by the Wall Street Journal. A source familiar with the matter has confirmed. The subpoenas demand communications and documents related to the bank and Epstein. News of the subpoenas come 3 days after it was reported that JPMorgan CEO Jamie Dimon will answer questions under oath in the lawsuit. So, yes, he actually has to take the stand under oath. Now, if he lies, that's perjury, and that's a criminal act. Let's go on. Which alleges that the bank ignored warning signs about Epstein for years and continued retaining him as a customer. This gentleman here, this is the co-founder of Google, FYI. Let's go on. Last week, the Virgin Islands, in a press release, noted that it alleges JPMorgan Chase could have prevented harm and trauma faced by the survivors of Jeffrey Epstein's heinous abuse. But instead, the bank chose to look the other way on these legal matters while continuing to use their banking relationship to grow their business with new clients introduced by Epstein. On March 20th, Judge Jed Rakoff ruled the suit against the bank as well as a similar one by women who say Epstein trafficked them can proceed toward trial. The plaintiffs claim that JPMorgan knowingly benefited from participating in Epstein's trafficking scheme, which transported women to his residence in the Virgin Islands so that he could abuse them. So, like I told you a couple of days ago, there was something in it for them. Let's go on. JPMorgan has denied allegations in the suits, which are pending in the U.S. District Court in Manhattan. The bank earlier this month sued former JPMorgan investment banking chief Jess Staley, claiming he is responsible for the suits relating to Epstein. The bank seeks to claw back more than $80 million that it paid Staley. He quit as CEO of Barclays in 2021 after a probe by the United Kingdom financial regulators over his ties, with Epstein. A lawyer for the Virgin Islands earlier this month said in court that Dimon knew in 2008 that Epstein was a trafficker. Highlight the heck out of this one. I'm going to say this again. A lawyer for the Virgin Islands earlier this month said in court that Dimon knew in 2008 that Epstein was a sex trafficker. It's all coming out now. Maybe not as much as we want to come out, but I told you at some point or another, we're going to get more information. I agree, Sebastian. This is absolutely gross. I know. Yeah. I don't know. I told you I was going to keep following this story because, by the way, if you search for this on YouTube, this particular story, I only found one video that came up. Let's go on. That was the year that Epstein first was hit with crime charges in the state court in Florida. Let's go on. If Staley is a rogue employee, why isn't Jamie Dimon? That's the attorney Mimi Lou said at the hearing. Staley knew, Dimon knew, JPMorgan Chase knew. A JPMorgan lawyer said at the time that the bank disputed those claims. In a particular, the point about Jamie Dimon having any specific knowledge. A bank spokeswoman said, Jamie Dimon has no recollection of reviewing the Epstein accounts. Of course he doesn't. JPMorgan only ended its customer relationship with Epstein in 2013. So again, he knew going back to 2008. Epstein, a former friend of Donald Trump, Bill Clinton, and Britain's Prince Andrew, was arrested on federal trafficking charges in July 2019. He killed himself a month later in Manhattan jail cell after being denied bail. Now, I have a clip that I want to show you as well, because I like to try to get an article and I like to try to get a clip. And what I noticed when I searched on YouTube looking for a clip in reference to this particular update, I only found one. And that tells me not many people are talking about this. That's what it tells me. So let's get into it. Listen to this.
We have a news alert related to the civil suit against JPMorgan and its relationship with Jeffrey Epstein. Eamon Jabbers has the details. Eamon.
Oh, Eric, I need a volume booster for this one. Not many people talking about this, guys.
Morgan, the Wall Street Journal has just posted a significant story here about new developments in this case. The Wall Street Journal is reporting within the past couple of moments here that the U.S. Virgin Islands has issued subpoenas this week to Sergey Brin, Thomas Pritzker, Mortimer Zuckerman, and Michael Ovitz to gather information for its civil lawsuit against JPMorgan Chase and Company over the bank's relationship with Jeffrey Epstein. The Wall Street Journal here is citing people familiar with the matter. I can tell you, Morgan, I just hung up the phone a couple of minutes ago with a source familiar with the situation who confirmed to me that those 4 individuals will be receiving subpoenas. One of the questions in all this is whether those subpoenas have been delivered already or whether they're still pending. Not exactly clear where we are in that process, but that those 4 individuals will be receiving subpoenas in this case. The Wall Street Journal reports it's not entirely clear why those 4 are receiving these subpoenas for information about the bank's relationship with Jeffrey Epstein, the convicted sex offender.
So that's the piece that I don't know the answer to yet. I don't know why those, we know about Jamie Dimon, but I don't know why, Sergey, the other billionaires that they mentioned, they have not explained yet why they are being subpoenaed. But I'm pretty sure we'll find out in the next couple of days. So I'll get back to you on that. But again, we have Jamie Dimon, who's from JPMorgan Chase. We have the co-founder of Google. What do they know about this? You got to watch these billionaires, man.
Who died some years ago. Again, these are some of the most powerful and wealthy, well-known figures in American business. Sergey Brin, Thomas Pritzker, Mortimer Zuckerman, and Michael Ovitz, all now being pulled into this case, which so far has been more tightly focused on JP Morgan's relationship with Jeffrey Epstein, its banking relationship, and a social relationship with one of the executives at JP Morgan. This has caused trouble for Jamie Dimon of JP Morgan, who is now going to be in conversations under oath.
It is Jamie Dimon. Sometimes I want to say Dimon, Jamie Dimon.
In this case, describing what he knows about JP Morgan's relationship with Jeffrey Epstein going back as far as 2008. So a significant new development here, Morgan, involving some of the most powerful people in the United States. Back over to you.
Very powerful people. These are, forget the millionaires, these are billionaires. Now, don't get me wrong, they're going to be lawyered up. They're going to have the best attorneys possible. But the fact that they're making Jamie Dimon testify under oath. Get the popcorn, get your tea, get your hot chocolate, whatever it is that you like to partake in when you see this kind of stuff. Because I'm telling you guys, I told you when this information first came out about the Virgin Islands that I was going to continue to follow the story, and we're going to keep following it. This video is the only video that I found on YouTube that even mentions this update. I should send this to Kim. Kim has talked about Jeffrey Epstein. She's covered it pretty extensively. But mainstream media haven't been able to find it.
There's so many questions, and we know you will be continuing to dig into this evolving story for us. Eamon Javers, thank you.
Again, co-founder of Google. And not that many people talking about this. EW says this is absolutely fantastic news that it's actually going to court and that the news is actually hitting the press. These monsters need to split up names and then go to prison. I don't think they're going to reveal names. We'll see. I don't think they will. Wary says CNBC and the Wall Street Journal are probably more concerned about how this will materially affect JP Morgan. Investors want to know, LOL. That's a good point. There's a lot of money involved here. Thank you for the super chat, YepX. News regarding Epstein is barely reported on because of the amount of rich people, politicians, CEOs, etc., who were involved are telling various outlets not to report on it. It's all connected. You guys see that? You guys see that? Do you think it is a coincidence that someone tried to break into Kim Iverson's house after she had that interview with Alan Dershowitz and she asked him about Epstein and he got upset with her and said he won't be coming back on? Alan Dershowitz is Epstein's attorney, by the way. But do you think that's a coincidence? Because I don't. Yeah, Saul. Yeah, that happened. That happened. Ancient says, I do not. Yeah, I don't. What's that, Joanna? No way, I didn't know that. Yeah. She posted it on Twitter. It's a couple days ago. I think that was last week that posted, actually. But yeah, so the fact that I know we're not all the way there, and I don't know what the final outcome is going to be, but the fact that they've even gotten this far with the subpoenas for billionaires, it's a step in the right direction.